Hey there, gamers! Gonna be a new title on the Wii, and pretty much the next couple of videos I'm gonna do are gonna be a bit of a focus on a certain company. Just get straight into the first one. That is brand new on the Wii, Data East Arcade Classics for the Nintendo Wii. So let me raise the volume a little bit. Okay. So yeah, the next couple of things I'm gonna talk about are gonna be mostly Data East titles. So they say you can hold the Wiimote sideways. I recommend just using a classic controller or a GameCube controller on this. It's the best way. So yeah, load my data. So here we go. Gmode is a cell phone developer based in Tokyo. They have the rights to a lot of Data East titles because the company went bankrupt back in 2003. Majesco is the company that published this title, this collection, and it was developed by G1M2. They've actually done a number of the Neo Geo collections we see here in North America. World Heroes Anthology, the Art of Fighting collection, the Fatal Fury, the two Fatal Fury collection, sorry, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. That was all converted by that company. So they're good. They do a good job of emulation. So yeah, this is a compilation of 15 of Data East's arcade titles. So whenever you start, the first thing you do is you select your Mii. So pretty much what it does is that your high scores are assigned to your Miis. Yeah, there's a little bit of a load time. It's nothing too bad though. Never anything that bad, so I'm not gonna knock it or anything. So okay, here we go. Here's the titles we got. We got Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja from 1988. Yeah, it's cutting off a little bit on the side, sorry. Burger Time from 1982. Bird and Rubber or Bump and Jump from 1982. Caveman Ninja, aka Joe and Mac from 1991. Crude Buster, aka Two Crude or Two Crude Dudes from 1990. I've already reviewed the Genesis version of that. Express Raider, or Western Express from 1986. Heavy Barrel from 87. Lock and Chase from 81. Magical Drop 3 from 97. This is the most recent of the titles. Peter Pepper's Ice Cream Factory, which is the spin-off of Burger Time from 1984. Secret Agent or Sly Spy from 1989. Side Pocket from 86. Street Hoop or Street Slam or Dunk Dream from 94. It was Super Real Darwin, the sequel to the original Darwin shooter. That's from 87. And we got Wizard Fire or Dark Seal 2 from 1992. I'll get into a couple of games, and I'll get to maybe one or two of the games in this video. This I'm just going to do mostly as an overview, but I'll still give my overall opinion on it. So I'm just going to give a rough idea of what I think of each game. Bad Dudes it's super cheesy, but it's really enjoyable. It's very simple, but it's very fun. There's a reason why, aside from the whole cheese factor, it's a legitimately good game. I'd say definitely give it definitely play it. Burger Time is a really cool arcade style, old school arcade game. It's ruthless right from the start though, but it's really fun. Bird and Rubber, if you've played any of those like overhead like driving games, this one's pretty cool. You have the ability to like jump over gaps or jump on top of your opponents, and pretty much you can get from point A to point B in every stage without dying. Again, kind of like Burger Time, a little ruthless, maybe not as tough as Burger Time right from the start, but pretty cool. Caveman Ninja, very hard but very fun. I mean, a lot of people like the Joe and Mac series, and I can see why. This is a really fun game. I've already talked about, Crude Buster on the Genesis version with Two Crude Dudes. Pretty much, like I said, the arcade version just has a little more graphical flair to it, more detailed graphics, and a bunch of voice clips that kind of give it that cheesiness, kind of like Bad Dudes, but definitely a fun game. Express Raider, it alternates between one stage where you're where it's kind of like a side-scrolling, not gonna say beat 'em up exactly. It's like you jump on each car train, like train cab. And every time you fight like a new villain or a new opponent, it's like a one-on-one fight, almost like Karate Champ, but not but not exactly. It's okay. It's worth trying, like maybe playing every now and then. Heavy Barrel is a Ikari Warriors like game, straight down to how the original arcade version used a rotary joystick. What G1M2 has done is they adapted the rotary joystick to a double stick into twin stick style. So you use the left stick to move, right stick to aim. The R button to fire, and L button's your grenade. It's a bit slower paced, but it's still really fun. Lock and Chase is pretty much like it's Data East equivalent to Pac-Man. There's an interesting locking mechanism where you can, close up gates and lock enemies, away. I can't fully understand how to get that going. I'll probably have to give it a few more tries. It's okay. I think if you're a fan of Pac-Man, you'll probably like it. Magical Drop 3. A lot of people who, when they saw this game was announced for it, a lot of people went, this is worth the $20 alone. And I can see why. It's a fun puzzle game. If you know, it kind of has some elements of Bust-A-Move or something like, something like that, but it's original enough to be its own game, to not have to be a clone or anything. And this is definitely one of the must-play games on this collection. And it's one of the 2 Neo Geo games on the collection. Peter Pepper's Ice Cream Factory, in my opinion, is really the only absolutely horrid game on the collection. Really, I think the only reason it is on the collection is just because it's so rare. It's really a really rare game. I don't think many people even saw it in the arcades. And I think that's the only reason why it was included, because it's so rare. This is like probably the only way a lot of people will be able to legally play this game without, without having to resort to PC emulation. Emulators on PC. But it's really not that good of a game. I'd probably like to get as you can see on the bottom right, there are some circles, and so like Secret Agent, which is another great game. I'll get to that in a second though. You have 5 medals. Pretty much what happens, if you get 1 medal, you get the music. If you get 3 medals, you get like the bezels. I'll show the extras in a second. When you get 5, you get a secret, you get a special mode, which really just, see, I can't select it, but you pretty much say, and here's your goals for Secret Agent. Once you get 5, then you get special mode, which is pretty much just like a harder version of the game. But anyway, back to what I think of each game. Secret Agent is a pretty fun game, It's kind of a little bit like Namco's old Rolling Thunder series and such, but it's definitely a pretty cool game. Nice, like, beat 'em up / shoot 'em up, so, where you walk around. Side Pocket, I played the Genesis version. This one, though, gives you a limited amount of time that you can do the game in, and a limited number of cue balls. So you pretty much have to be as perfect as possible. Aside from that, though, it's a game of pool. If you like pool, you probably like Side Pocket. Street Hoop is very much like NBA Jam. It pretty much was the NBA Jam for the Neo Geo, and it's pretty fun. I wish the halves could be a little, longer, but the idea is you're playing against multiple teams, so I can understand that. Maybe if you do versus, you can do more time. Super Real Darwin, it's an okay shooter, and I like the whole evolution concept it has, but pretty much when you get fully powered up, you're broken. You're utterly almost unstoppable. Bosses are too easy. It's not bad, but it's probably worth a try maybe here and there. It's probably the second worst title on the collection, but it's not absolutely horrid. Wizard Fire now is a pretty cool. I probably won't be able to get to show up any games. I'll probably review individual ones, on my own later on. Not every one, but just individual ones. Wizard Fire is pretty much like this isometric view beat 'em up, done with a fantasy style, with some really, really funny voice work in between each stage. But it's definitely one of the surprise titles that really, I really found enjoyable. So before I end off, let me just show you, you got bezels here, the stuff that goes around the arcade monitor. Yeah, character art was my old background on my computer. I don't have too much of that. Here's Magical Drop 3 artwork. You also got flyers. There's a lot of flyers here, so let me just try to get through. I'm sorry, I'm going a little fast, I'm sorry, because I'm running out of time on my camera here. So there's Crude Buster. And there's Dark Seal 2 or Wizard Fire, and you also got the marquees, the stuff on top. Definitely though, it's a little harder to find. I think mainly you might have to go online, maybe Toys R Us.